This is the moment we've been waiting for, the main event of the Quantum CBD H2O Rumble at Remington, brought to you by Sailor Jerry. This is a super middleweight bout. World-ranked Carson Jones of Oklahoma City taking on the very tough and very able Abel Perry of Arkansas. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape as these two guys enter the ring. Jones coming in with quite a bit more experience and a much more impressive record. 40-12, 30 KOs versus Perry's 18-11 with 9 KOs. Coach Jones also with a significant age advantage, 8 years younger than Abel Perry, although a bit shorter at 5'9 versus Perry's 5'11. They weigh just about the same, and Perry comes in with a 6-inch reach advantage. Joining us ringside for the main event is the champ, Darren Humphrey. Darren, what should we expect in this fight, and what are the stakes for Carson Jones' career?
Well, I think we should expect fireworks. Like you mentioned, Abel Perry, he's very able and definitely willing. He comes in to fight every time. As far as what we should, I think it's definitely a do-or-die fight for Carson. So, I think he's definitely going to be prepared. He's coming in. He's a great fighter. I've known Carson for many years, and I expect him to put on a good show tonight.
Both fighters look ready, and we are ready for the introductions. Let's send it up in the ring to the delightful Gerald Whalen.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome here to your main event of the evening. Proudly brought to you by Quantum CBD H2O. 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at an official 166 pounds from Bella Vista, Arkansas. Ladies and gentlemen, Abel, the Truth Serum Perry. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at an official 167 pounds. His professional record stands at 40 wins with 12 defeats, 30 wins coming by way of knockout from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Ladies and gentlemen, El Peligroso, Mr. Carson Jones. We go to Gary Ritter for your instructions.
We're not going to get engaged, are we? Okay, Jim, we're going 6 rounds. Got your instructions earlier. Give us a spirited, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. Both the trunks are good. Touch your gloves and let her buck.
This is the main event, super middleweight. Carson Jones versus Abel Perry. Carson Jones, of course, has been on the world stage. He's coming off a technical decision loss to Antonio Margarito after an accidental headbutt. Forced him to go to the judges' scorecards in round 7. Jones lost that technical decision, but just about everyone in attendance thought Jones had won and certainly had momentum in that fight. Darren, knowing those are the stakes, how critical is it for Carson Jones to get a win tonight?
Well, it's very critical. Every fight's very critical, regardless if you won or lost your last fight. Carson's in here. He's very talented. Like I mentioned earlier, I've known Carson for a very long time. I've known him from the gym for many years. And, he knows what it takes to come in here. My only concern would be that, if I'm not mistaken, I think Abel Perry was, maybe a sparring partner for Carson for several, big fights he had over in the UK.
So they know each other well.
For sure, and that can certainly play into the fight.
Neither one likely to pull surprises on the other. So let me ask you, Darren, who looks to be in the better condition?
Well, that's a good question. As far as conditioning, I don't know. I'd maybe give that maybe a little bit to Perry. I know that Perry came out and established his jab initially, landed 2 good, clean jabs on Carson. But as I say that, Carson's, bringing the fight back to Perry. So.
And both of these guys throw their jabs with absolute authority, really throwing their shoulder into it. It's not the light flicking jab. Right. It is a wounding jab both of these fighters work off of.
Certainly. And Carson just threw a good right hook to the rib cage of Perry there.
He did. Jones has a
And
lethal
nice
right
jab to
hand.
his chest, yes.
Jones has a lethal right hand if he's able to set it up. So far, it would appear Perry's outworking Jones, throwing a lot more punches. Jones may just be biding his time, as he knows the experience and skill level, especially for a high-stakes fight. All those advantages go to Jones.
For sure. And Jones has obviously fought a lot tougher competition. I think this is just a settling in period for Jones. He's just, he's getting settled in. Great right hand there. He's real sneaky, and, I think that's his experience. And
and a good overhand right.
Over here.
That didn't look like it was that hard. It looked like a glancing blow, but it caught.
6, 7.
It caught Abel Perry right on the point of the
Ready
chin.
to
Referee
go?
gets up to the 8 count. He appears to be fine.
I
don't even know if I'd call that a slip. I'm not sure what that was.
No, that was a clean knockdown in my opinion. I just think when Carson decided to bring in the fight, he brought it to Perry. So no disrespect to Perry there. He's obviously a good fighter, but Carson sees things that Perry doesn't see.
That was a brutal right hand to the body of Abel Perry. And he took a knee from the body shot. Again, appears to be okay. But Jones is brimming with confidence, and he's boring in with heavy shots. Again, going to the body. Perry no longer wants to be
and
here.
I think he probably broke Perry's ribs there.
3, 4.
Referee Gary Ritter going ahead with the count, although I'm not sure
8, 9.
Perry intends to get up, even though we're closing in on the final seconds of round number 1.
Yeah, I know.
I think he might be right there, and I think he may have broken a rib, but that's the end of the round, so
I'll have Jones.
at least Perry has made it this far. This is the main event. From the gestures Abel Perry is making in his corner, the stretching of his arms, the grimacing, what does that tell you about his injury, Darren?
Well, we talked earlier about Abel Perry, starting off the fight, throwing more punches and being more aggressive than Carson. I mentioned that Carson was just taking his time, getting settled in, and I think we saw that. I just think when Carson decided to bring the fight to Perry, he did that, and he was he was throwing that right hook with some intentions, and he landed that right hook to the body a couple of times before Perry even took that first knee.
Yeah, and I think it became evident relatively quickly.
So, no, I mean, you're good with
that
it. Okay.
Carson Jones
Let's go.
is a different level of fighter than Abel Perry is. Abel Perry, though, still tough. Suffering 3 knockdowns. I guess you'd have to score that 10-6. That's quite a deficit to overcome in a 6-round fight. Yeah. Carson Jones taking his time, measuring up his man.
And in my opinion, Carson's probably one of the top fighters to come out of Oklahoma. And, like I said, when he decided to throw those punches, he brought them with some serious intention.
He did. Carson Jones, usually a slow starter. And even though he started round 1
good
slowly.
right hand there by Perry.
That was a good right hand. He started the round slowly, but he finished it with a fury, sending Abel Perry down to the floor 3 times in round number 1. Here we are about 1 minute in. 1 minute into round number 2, and I think Perry has some serious rib problems. He took the knee to get the 8 count.
6, 7, 8. Go down again on the side.
Referee warns you go down once more. It is the end of the fight, and that is not even needed. My money is on Abel Perry having a broken rib, at least one of them. Referee stops contest. About 1 minute into round number 2, our main event, Carson Jones, winner by TKO in the second. We'll have the official time coming up. Stay with us.
Introducing Quantum CBD H2O, a premium perfect pH phytocannabinoid water beverage with electrolytes and minerals, chemicals solvent-free, organically derived nutrients, non-GMO, THC-free, phytocannabinoid-rich, full-spectrum PCX technology, scientifically developed for the human condition. Experience the entourage effect. Feel the power. Revitalize, rebuild with Quantum CBD H2O.
Remington Park party planners, how can I help you?
Racing season might be over, but the jockeys are staying behind for party season.
A wedding in Eclipse Room? Sure.
25 for a business meeting? No problem.
Class reunion? Yes, ma'am. There's just one cat. You gotta invite all of us.
Please ignore that. You do not have to. She actually wants you all to come.
Quarter Horse Racing returns March 9th, but at Remington, you can party anytime.
Our main event, super middleweights here at the Rumble at Remington, ends in round number 2. For the official time and the particulars, let's send it up to the mesmerizing Gerald Whalen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the main event of the evening, proudly brought to you by Quantum CBD H2O, ends at 57 seconds in the second round. Your winner by TKO out of the red corner, Mr. Carson Jones.
Carson Jones now moving up to 41 victories in the ring, coming off a tough loss against Antonio Margarita. I think this is exactly what Carson Jones needed. Darren Humphreys, final thoughts. What do you see next for Carson Jones?
Well, I was glad to see him get the victory here. He ended the night early, obviously, but I'm ready to see Carson get back in action. He's, like I mentioned earlier, he's one of the better fighters, in my opinion, to come out of Oklahoma. He's done a lot for the state as far as boxing goes. I'm proud of him. Not only that, I'm very proud of him. He's a guy I've known for many years. And
do you think this was the kind of win he needed?
I maybe would have hoped he would have got a few more rounds out of it, but
okay.
A win is a win.
And certainly an impressive performance as he puts away Abel Perry in round number 2. Carson Jones, the winner of our main event at the Quantum CBD H2O Rumble at Remington. I'm Andrew Spino on behalf of HD Boxing and the champ, Darren Humphreys. We want to thank you very much for joining us, and be sure to join us for the next big show from HD Boxing. We'll see you then.